enduring partnership. Permit me to respectfully acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Prime Minister of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, retired Brigadier Mark Anthony Phillips, Honorable Minister of Education, Ms. Priya Manichan, Honorable Minister of Public Works, Bishop Juan Edgil, Deputy Chief Education Officer, Administration, Ms. Tiffany Harvey, Deputy Chief Education Officer, Development, Ms. Valaika Jaikishun, Deputy Chief Education Officer, Mr. Dio Narayan Hardat, Representative of the World Bank, Ms. Daletta Doretti, Coordinator of the Human Capital Project, Ministry of Education, Mr. Rovin Sukraj, Regional Executive Officer, Region Number 10, Mr. Dwight John, Regional Chairman, Mr. Darren Adams, His Worship, the Mayor of Linden, Mr. Sharma Solomon, Director of the National Accreditation Council, Dr. Marcel Hudson, Regional Health Officer, Mr. Gregory Harris, Regional Education Officer, Ms. Nicola Matthews, Education Officers, Mr. Selwyn Griffith, Ms. Chevron Green Brewster, Ms. Dawn McCammon Barker, Mr. Odani Sol, Ms. Luana Boyce, Ms. Karen Narayan, Mr. Alistair Fraser, Senior Welfare Officer, Ms. Grace London, Welfare Officers, Ms. Shakira Goring, Ms. Bevon Pitt, the Town Clerk, Mr. Lennox Gasper, members of the Regional Education Committee, Chairman Ms. Daniels, and Member Ms. Elise, Head Teacher Ms. Shelleen Craigwell Peters, Deputy Head Teachers, teachers, students, parents, alumni, trusted friends, developmental partners, Divisional Commander, Region 10 inspectors, members of the media, representatives from Power China, Jiangxi Electric Power Construction Company Limited, representatives from Calitech Inc. Welcome one and all. Your presence underscores the collective commitment we share towards building a stronger educational future. This program is now called to order, and so I invite us all to kindly stand as we recite the universal prayer. It can be found at the back of your program. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words comes out of the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sands of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-winding thoughts and action, into that heaven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake. Thank you. You may be seated. Remain standing as we recite the national pledge. I pledge myself. I pledge myself to honor always the flag of Guyana and to be loyal to my country, to be obedient to the laws of Guyana, to love my fellow citizens, and to dedicate my energies towards the happiness and prosperity of Guyana. You all may be seated. Thank you. Nelson Mandela declared, education is the most powerful tool, weapon in which we can use to change the world. It is my honor to call to the podium the principal of Christianburg Wismar Secondary School, Ms. Shelleen Craigwell-Peters to bring brief remarks to you. Let us welcome her.
Good morning, everyone. All protocols observed. The Christianburg Multilateral School, more commonly known as the Christianburg Wismar Secondary School, CWSS, was officially established on the 14th of September 1975. Originally designed to accommodate 50 students and staff, the school was founded with the primary aim of equipping learners with technical and vocational skills, an objective that remains evident today, even as many of the tools of the Industrial Technology Department have become outdated. Over the years, three major challenges have significantly impacted the institution. First, surface erosion has compromised the foundation of the current school building. Second, the lack of timely and adequate maintenance has led to further deterioration of the physical infrastructure. Thirdly, and perhaps most pressing, is the issue of overpopulation. A school initially built for 500 now serves more than 700 students and a teaching staff of over 100. This overcrowding has resulted in congested classrooms and cramped staff rooms, making it increasingly difficult to maintain effective teaching and learning environments. The construction of a new, modern school facility with adequate space and infrastructure will go a long way in addressing these issues. Such a development will not only relieve overcrowding, but also enhance teacher efficiency and significantly improve student outcomes. It is important to note that CWSS currently functions as a sixth form institution and is optimized that very soon the school will be gazetted as a sixth form school. Thanks in advance, Honorable Minister Priyamanichan, for lobbying for the school to be gazetted. The recognition with strength our efforts, with this recognition, our strength to improve the only academic success of our learners, but also the overall development of the wider Blueberry Hill Committee is our main aim. Thank you very much.
Thank you, HM. Next on our program, we will call on the representative of the World Bank, Ms. Deletta Doretti, to deliver brief remarks. Let us welcome her to the podium.
Thank you very much, and you say my name very well. It's all right. So, good morning, Honorable Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, Honorable Minister of Education Priyamanichan, Honorable Minister of Public Works Juan Agil, students, teachers, representative from the local government, from the Ministry of Education, from the contractors, and really all of you friends. On behalf of the World Bank, it's my pleasure to be here today. Today's turning of the sod is not just a very important milestone as an infrastructure endeavor, but it stands as a beacon of the commitment Guyana has made in advancing its education system through secondary school like this one, and something that the World Bank is very pleased to be supporting and partnering with the government of Guyana in this. Worldwide, the World Bank has championed numerous education projects like this one that focus on increasing access and quality of education, because this is a catalyst for promoting equity and job creation. In Guyana, we are a long-standing partner of the government. I'd like to thank really the government trust in the World Bank as lead partner in the education sector. We've been working from the nursery to secondary, so to primary to secondary, and most recently in Tibet. And we recognize that investing in education, investing in people is really catalytic at this moment of Guyana's economic transformation. So we couldn't be happier to see the investment the country is making in its people through education. Specifically regarding the school that we are turning this out today, it's part of the Guyana Strengthening Human Capital Through Education project. And the project seeks to broaden access to quality secondary education, including technical and vocational education. Also focuses on providing learning environments and better and more modern education spaces, providing support to teachers to increase teachers' training, and also focus on digital transformations, because we all know the importance of bringing in the digital elements, both smart classroom and through EdTech. All these efforts align very much with the vision that Guyana set forward 2030, and especially under the leadership of Minister Manicham, strategic plan to ensure that every child in Guyana has access to quality education and to a better and more positive learning environment. Investing in people is core of what the World Bank does, and it's core of what Guyana is doing right now, because investing in people is powerful. It's the most powerful investment a country can make. And that's what Guyana is showing more and more at every level of the education system. By investing in school like this, Guyana is investing in the next generation of leaders, and I just was pleased to learn that the Prime Minister is actually a student, former student of Christianburg, so clearly there's a lot of leaders that have emerged from this school, and I'm sure there are going to be many more. So just to conclude, we stand ready to continue work with the government of Guyana and the Ministry of Education in any future endeavors. We are very pleased with this partnership. I would be remiss if I was not to thank the many people that have worked so tirelessly, from the project coordinator to the entire Ministry of Education, my colleagues at the World Bank, the contractor here, and also Ministry of Finance colleagues that always make sure everything goes seamless behind the scenes. So thank you very much, and I look forward to being part of this important turning of the salt today. Thank you.
Thank you much. Hugo wrote, "Music expresses that which cannot be said, and on which it is impossible to be silent." Let us now enjoy a song, "Oh Beautiful Guyana" by Anthony Duke. Let us welcome Anthony. Thank you, Mr. Ju. John Dewey said, education is not preparation for life, education is life itself. I am pleased to call to the podium someone who is passionate about education. Sometimes I think this person has superhuman powers because at 1 p.m. you might see her at a school in Region 6. And then at 4 p.m. you might see her in a village at Region 9. This individual basks in development. She loves progress. She is passionate about education. Help me welcome the Honorable Minister of Education, Ms. Priyamani Chan, to deliver her address.
Thank you very much. Please sit. That was a very warm welcome. My dearest Prime Minister, colleague Minister Edgehill, our dearest Mayor and REO, HM, teachers, parents, particularly our learners, and all the invitees and contractors, and particularly the people of Linden who understand how they will be benefiting from, and their children will be benefiting from this school. Good morning and welcome. I am not going to attempt to do what Lashana just did, which is to list everyone. Diletta, we're very happy to have you here this morning. And I'm noting very clearly that I am to deliver an address as very distinct from the Prime Minister's feature address. So I will be short. We were clear when we were coming into government, even before we came in, and we were seeking your views about what it is you might want to see when we got into government, if you were to trust us with your vote, what it is you'd like to see in education. And that's how we crafted our manifesto. That's how we crafted so you won't get that annoying buzz. Something was buzzing there. That's how we crafted our manifesto. We decided that we weren't going to sit in a room and decide what it is you wanted. We were going to hear from you what you thought organically in your community would make you do better, would make your children have better opportunities, would make your communities grow and thrive. And then we took all of that from everywhere across the country and sat down in a room to decide what it is we would do if you were to trust us with your vote. And in education, we had 5 strong pillars. 1, we want better access, that every child must be able to attend a nursery, primary, and discrete secondary school. 2, that we wanted a higher quality of education, so that when you get into the classroom and you're sitting in those desks, benches, and writing on those desks, that you are receiving a quality that was relevant to Guyana today as well as the world, being able to compete in the world. 3, that you would have lifelong learning opportunities available to you. By that I mean even after you exit high school, that you would be able to continue to learn in fields that would make you competitive and allow you to feed your children and make them competitive, that you'd be able to provide more. And those were some of our strong 4, that we would have better access to technical vocational education. 5, that our system would be more efficient. that we would be able to monitor, evaluate, and bring in new things. Those were the 5 main pillars that we came to you with. And that is what created our education sector strategy. And that's what we've been working on. And I'm very happy to tell you that we are closer than ever before. And I suppose even if you put down one school, you could say we're closer than we ever were, but it's not one school, to achieving universal secondary education across Guyana. And let me tell you what that means. For all of Guyana's existence, we have had 13 secondary schools in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9. 13, 1, 3. When the PPPC came into office in 1992, we had 3 secondary schools in the hinterland communities. 1 at Mabaruma, 1 at Bartica, if you consider Bartica hinterland. It's right there, so I don't really consider it hinterland, but it is in Region 7. And 1 at St. Ignatius. And between 1992 and 2015, while we were a heavily indebted poor country, while we were paying 94 cents on every dollar in debt, while we had malnutrition and beriberi, while our health care was in the trenches, while 30% of our teachers were trained only, while only 33% of our children could access secondary education, we were bad. We're in a bad place for a number of reasons. We still built 10 more secondary schools in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9. That's when things are bad. Because at our core, we understand that whether we have much or little, it must be spread out equally, and that education is an important component, a vital component, not important, vital, in developing the Guyana we want. So, when we left in 2015, we left 13 secondary schools in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9. And sadly, when we came back in 2020, we found only 13 secondary schools in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9. In fact, the sad reality, and it brings me no pleasure to say this, but I must say it, not a single secondary school started and finished in 5 years from 2015 to 2020, when the country was doing the best it had ever done economically in its entire existence. Not a single secondary school started or finished. And that speaks to priorities. It speaks to priorities. And sometimes I get passionate / angry when I have to say things like that, because we punished and suffered people's children and took away opportunities that they could have otherwise had. Right now, as we speak, in the last 5 years, up to today's date, we have built or are in the process of building, in only regions 1, 7, 8, and 9, 22 new secondary schools across the hinterland regions, where we consider them, which is the most underserved part of secondary education in the country. And again, I hope you see those numbers as showing a story of priority, showing a story of love, showing a story of hard work, intending to pass down benefits to your children. Here in Linden, well, here in Region 10, I'm very glad to say that there are 3 new secondary schools with local funds. And to make sure we are compliant, we have to go through those processes. There's a conversation happening at the back here, if we could, and so we took a little bit longer than we should have, that I would have liked to see in getting this school to this place. But I'm very glad to say that this school is going to be, construction of this school is going to begin today when we leave, when we turn this sod. And it's a school that's going to be fit for 1,000 children. We already have 107 teachers here. Of the 107 teachers, 26 are in college and 2 are upgrading, so 28 are in college, the rest are trained. 384 teachers were trained in Region 10 in the last 4 years. 384 finished training. He hasn't been able to give me the number of those currently in college, and that's in Region 10. And that's why I said it's not only about access for us. For us, we want to make sure once you get into those schools that you have a higher quality. And so for about 15 years, teachers, we had about 72% of our teachers across nursery, primary, secondary who were trained. And COVID came, and COVID was horrible, but it brought with it opportunities. That if your eyes were open wide enough, and if your heart was in the right place, you'd see those opportunities. And what we did was we expanded the training college, the country's only teacher training college, the Cyril Potter College of Education, to online education, not wholly online, fully online, but not wholly online. What that means is we can do everything online, but we are also doing in-person education. We have been able, with that expansion, to move or train teachers from that 68 to 72% that we've been stuck at for about 15 years, including under our government before, to now having 100% of our teachers trained or in training. A first ever for our country, Guyana, and a first in the Caribbean. Now, that's a big deal. I've seen untrained teachers do amazing work, and we've all been exposed to untrained teachers. In fact, I told you at one point, 33% of our teachers were trained. But it is more likely than not that if you have a teacher who went to school and learned how to teach, that you will get better results. And better results means you'll put your children, we will put our children on a platform where they could compete better, go on to tertiary education better, and do more with their lives and for their families and communities that we could have done before. And we've seen that. That has begun to produce fruit. On the Guyana Online Academy of Learning, which is just a medium, we call it GOAL, it's just a medium through which people across the country, particularly young people, although we don't have age limits, register and conduct their business to go to 20 foreign universities in Asia, Europe, North America, the West Indies, and different countries at no cost to yourself, because the government is paying for it, where you can get from certificates to PhDs, masters and degrees. And I'm happy to tell you that 2,402 persons from Region 10 have gone and qualified themselves on the Guyana Online Academy of Learning program in foreign universities, where they got masters and PhDs and degrees and certificates and are now more marketable across this world. Not only here in Guyana. Can earn better, can do more, and can reach their potential of whatever skill it was they were trying to do. In fact, while I was in Region 9 last week, we just had a massive graduation that had to go over 2 full days because we had so many people, so many Guyanese people getting qualified from foreign universities on different programs that they wanted to get qualified in. That, my friends, is an amazing feat for people in their personal lives. So today, as we turn this sod, for the school, the only school in the country that is doing at Cape, the only school in the country that is doing at Cape animated design. I'm very pleased to say that in less than 2 years, you're going to have a very different environment where your children can access secondary education. We are turning the sod for a brand new school here, but every single school across this region is being rehabilitated or rebuilt as far as that is necessary. I have been approached by the board members of Mackenzie High to say that, and I understand the former mayor was a student of Mackenzie High. I'm yet to determine if they did well with him or not. But here is your mayor serving you from Mackenzie High. And I am told that the school needs significant repairs or a rebuild. And once we have that, look, you have a commitment from me at this podium that it will happen. That it will happen. Because our aim is to make sure where we didn't have, we first look at, hence the 22 schools going up in the hinterland. But even as we are looking at those schools, that we're building out and expanding schools across this country that need expansion and rehabilitation. Linden particularly benefits from something, and that is 100% of your teachers, actually 110, are trained in Linden. That's nowhere else in the country. That's in Linden. But we need to make sure that we see that in Region 10, but then nobody wants to go into the riverine communities. We can't be making these investments, which are heavy, and not seeing the results. So Mackenzie High, HM, DHM, young teacher, old teachers, experienced teacher, retired teacher. Here is my challenge to you. We gotta bring in better results, because better results mean more opportunities for the children, the 1,000 children that will be before you. And we are standing here as your partners, supporting you all the way through. All the way through. In fact, your grade 10 children are writing a diagnostic mathematics exam now as we speak, so that we could diagnose what they're good at, what they're poor at, where they need strengthening, and that between now and next year, May, you can strengthen them. So that 4% we saw last year, we're not seeing again, ever, from Mackenzie, from Christianburg, secondary, or any school for that matter. So this morning it gives me great pleasure to join the Prime Minister, to join the people of Region 10 in turning the sod for this brand new secondary school, the first one for the Irfan Ali first term here in Region 10. And our commitment to you is that in that second term, wherever we need to build or rehabilitate in Region 10, as everywhere else in the country, it will happen. I thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Universal secondary education. That is what resonated with me. Universal secondary education. And here in Region 10, we are privileged that we don't have any primary tops. We are closer and closer to the objective. And even more importantly, as the minister said, we have 3 secondary schools newly gazetted. Wairuni Secondary, Hururu Secondary. We also have Komaka Secondary gazetted. And very soon, like CWSS, I'm optimistic that we will see the construction of a secondary school at Komaka Mines Region 10. So the aim of education is to represent, and the aim of art is to represent as well. Not the outward appearance of things, but the inward significance. So we're now going to have a cultural item for our enjoyment, and I'm going to call our education officer, Miss Karen Narain, for her to do a dance to the song Guyana by Jesse Jacks. Let's welcome Miss Narain.
If I think about the ways you make me smile, I'd be sitting here and smiling for a while. Although I know I make you cry sometimes, your happiness is ever on my mind. I cannot repay for everything you've done, but my love for you burns brighter than the sun. No matter where my feet and mind may go, my heart will lead to you and you alone. Guyana, I'll be holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. A paradise so wondrous to behold, a work of art, your heart is gleaming gold. They sail the waters, soar above the trees, to find the gem between the mountains and seas. Your children all we try, though we may fall. We stand united now to heed your call. Our fathers fought the fights for liberty. Forever I'll defend Guyana free. Guyana, I'll be holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. Guyana, I'll be holding on to you forevermore. Guyana, may the blessings of God never leave your shore. Rise up for your land. Rise up, won't everybody stand? Rise up for your land. Rise up, won't everybody take a stand? Rise up for your land. Rise up, won't everybody
one of these good days, I too will learn to dance, and I will be doing, and I will do it better than Miss. Next on our program, I want to call one of our very own, an alumni of the Christianburg Wismar Secondary School. Someone who is calm, but very, very passionate about what he does. Region 10, help me welcome our very own Honorable Prime Minister, Brigadier Mark Phillips. He'll deliver the feature address.
Please be seated. Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Honorable P.O. Manichan, Minister of Education, Honorable Bishop Juan Edgil, Minister of Public Works, His Worship, Mayor of Linden, Mr. Sharma Rahim Solomon, Member of Parliament, Region 10, Mr. Jormin Figuera, Regional Exec Officer, Region 10, Mr. Dwight John, Tom Clark, Mr. Gasper, Miss Shelane Craigwell, Principal of Christianburg Secondary School, Ms. Diletta Doretti, Representative of the World Bank, PM Representative for Linden, Mr. Oren Wilson, Mr. Andrew Forsyth, Central Executive Committee Member of the PPP for Linden, Mr. Aubrey Major, teachers, students, friends, people of Linden, people of Christianburg, people of Blueberry Hill, all other protocols observed. Good morning. Good morning. You know, when Minister Manichan mentioned to me that we are the stage at which we can do the turning of the sod for the school, I insisted that I be invited to be here and to accompany her in turning the sod. And that's for a reason, a big reason, because this school means a lot to me. My upbringing is intertwined with the history of this school. In one of the previous remarks, I think was the principal mentioned in September, the 4th of September, the 14th of September, the school was open. And what happened on the 14th of September is that the students who were attending the Karakara Secondary School were transferred lock, stock, and barrel. You literally had to pick up everything and come to this brand new school, Christianburg Wismar Secondary School, that we all refer to as multi. How many former students are multi in the house? Just give a roar. How many multi here? Right, that's what multi has done for Linden. Right? Multi was always in competition with Mackenzie. Right? Since when we were Karakara and then we became multi, always in competition with Mackenzie. And many times, you know, we won whatever competition. Many times. I ain't say majority or minority, many times. Okay? Many times we won. And this school is not a catchment only for people on the west side of the Demerara River, Christianburg and Wismar. Many students from Mackenzie attended the school. And we had students from as far as Kokwani. And I can recall, I had some friends from Ichuni. I remember the store named Alves. They traveled every day, right, by bus to come to school here in Linden. And, you know, Linden and Multi has been dear to me. because it is after Multi, I went to work as a teacher for a short while, one term, at a school now known as Linen Foundation School, right? Or Telford High School, and then I worked at Guy Mine as a lab analyst before entering the Ghana Defense Force. And I never, at no time, ignore or try to hide my time at Multi. Multi has been good to me. Multi has been good to many, many of my comrades who are now lawyers, doctors, engineers, you name it, politicians, right? Nurses. And you know, Robin Adrian, only today Robin sent me some photographs, because when we were campaigning in 2020, in January, February 2020, we came to Linden, and we had a lukewarm reception in some areas, I must admit. But one of the things that we did in meeting the people, we promised, I made a promise, because it was raised by some young people, what are we going to do about Multi if we win the election? And I said, you know what? If you win the election and I become Prime Minister, I will root for a new school, a new Multi. Fast forward, 2023, we had a reunion in New York. And while the celebration was good and we reminisced about our time at Multi, there was a lot of murmuring, you know. A lot of people saying is that we can't just patch this school every 2 mornings, it's leaking. Right now they got problems with electricity and nothing much is being done, you know. And while I was not the featured speaker, I also took the opportunity to let them know that this government that I'm a part of, I'm the Prime Minister of, will build a new school, a new multi-school. And that's where school will be built on this ground. And when we finish building the new school, we will demolish the old school, and then we'll build a new playground. So you're getting 2 new things. A new school and a new playground for the students of Multi. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, I'm a proud former student of Christianburg Wismar Secondary School, known as Multi. These grounds have shaped me, just as they've shaped thousands of past and current students, and we will continue to shape generations to come. That is why this project holds a deep personal significance for me. When I stood before you prior to 2020, as I mentioned earlier, that promise was made. Today, I return with my ministerial colleagues and government officials to deliver on that promise, to turn the sod and fulfill that promise with a modern, world-class school. Getting here, as I mentioned before, took resolve. The early days of our administration were defined by disruption. COVID reshaped how we lived, how we learned, and how we planned. Everything slowed except the urgency of what we owed to communities like yours here in Linden. While the world was paused, we pursued the resources to keep our education agenda moving. In 2022, through a major agreement with the World Bank, we secured the kind of support that allowed us to think boldly again. That funding, known as the Guyana Strengthening Human Capital Through Education Project, is already reaching classrooms, teachers, and students across our country. And this site is part of that wave. And it will not be the 2.6 billion investment will deliver the most modern secondary school in Guyana, right here in Linden. The school will be constructed on 244,000 square feet of land and will comprise 9 purpose-built blocks totaling approximately 67,000 square feet. The campus will feature an administrative building housing the principal's office, staff room, conference room, and a sick bay. There will be a multi-purpose hall to support assemblies, events, and performances, as well as 35 fully outfitted classrooms. A dedicated science block will feature 3 laboratories to support hands-on practical learning. The school will also include a technology and vocational training block equipped for instruction in metalwork and woodwork, along with home economics facility designed for food and nutrition, clothing and textile, and home management. A performing arts block will house a music room and a dance studio, while an agricultural block will provide students with opportunities to engage in modern farming techniques and agriculture science. Additionally, there will be a fully equipped information technology laboratory, a language lab, a library to support literacy and research. Sanitary facilities will be provided for both students and staff, and a recreational area will offer space for sports, physical activity, and student well-being. This establishment will serve as a full-service educational environment designed to prepare students for the world ahead. The largest story behind this initiative is that it is a continuation of the PPPC's administration's broader commitment to Guyana's education system. Broader commitment to Guyana's education system. As of this year, no student, and you heard that before from the minister, no student in Guyana will pay tuition to attend university. That commitment was made in 2020, and it is now in place. 29,000 students have already received online scholarships through the GOAL initiative, allowing them to earn degrees from international institutions while staying in their communities. At the same time, we roll out a nationwide TVET expansion, offering free training, stipends, and real apprenticeships in fields closely tied to Guyana's actual economy. Energy, construction, agriculture, and digital infrastructure are the areas that we focus on. We also restored and strengthened the Because We Care cash grant, and only a few weeks ago, we finished paying out 55,000 Guyana dollars per child in school, nursery, primary, and secondary school. And it doesn't matter whether it's a private school. Once you're in school at those levels, you got $55,000 per child. So if you had 7 children, it's 55 by 7. And that was disbursed directly to all the children in all the regions, all communities where school exists in Guyana. Over 200,000 students now receive this support, which we view as an investment in learning time, school supplies, nutrition, and attendance. Ladies and gentlemen, beyond infrastructure and investment, we focus on the soul of education, our teachers. We promise better remuneration and greater training opportunities. And we delivered. And we delivered targeted stipends, professional development, and strategic hiring to strengthen the teaching workforce. Good buildings mean little without good educators, and we are invested in both. Finally, our reforms also reach students with special education needs who were long underserved. Today, there are stronger frameworks in place, better trained staff, clearer policies and resources to ensure inclusivity for all. These programs and initiatives all form part of a vision that says Guyana is a country that builds systems to support education and build futures for our children. We have modernized our infrastructure across all 10 administrative regions, as you heard before. And by the end of this year, as you heard also, 22 new secondary schools will be operational throughout the length and breadth of Guyana, on the coastland and in the hinterland. So we are also bridging the development divide in all aspects, digital, education, you name it. In this holistic vision for Guyana, ladies and gentlemen, it is essential to emphasize that Linden matters due to its immense potential. This town has long been a significant contributor to Guyana's economy, but that's not what defines it now. Linden is a place where students write code and want careers in healthcare, teaching, aviation, agriculture, and more. We are therefore building a launch pad to enable students to do so right here in their hometown, Linden. We are clearing this land so that your learning doesn't have to compete with poor lighting, as you experience on the other side, a lack of lab space, or outdated equipment, as mentioned by the headmistress. We're investing in you without any condition. This is pure investment in the development of Guyana, and more particularly in the development of Linden through its students in the secondary school that will be constructed here. To the teachers who will work here, your job has never been easy, and it will never be simple. But what you do matters deeply. I urge you to continue to teach with high expectations. Create space for curiosity, as you did with me, and the teachers before you did with me 50 years ago. And above all, protect the trust that students place in you. This school will also speak to where we are going as a country. The true measure of our development is how well we prepare our people to lead and innovate. That means education will remain the backbone of Guyana's rise and development. This project is also part of a broader listening effort, as was mentioned before. As we prepare our agenda for the years ahead, we are consulting across all regions and listening to the needs of all citizens, including those who are from places not only Linden, but Lethem, Bartica, Mabruma, and you name it. And while we focus on cities and towns, we have not forgotten the hinterland. In our marine villages, we have expanded education support, strengthened hostels, introduced solar technology, and invested in ICT connectivity, because development must be far-reaching. And that's what we believe in. Development must be far-reaching, ensuring every child in every region has the tools to thrive. Ladies and gentlemen, parents, teachers, students, I close with these sentiments. As a young boy sitting in the classroom of Christianburg Wismar Secondary School, Multi, as it's known, at that time, some 45 to 50 years ago, I sat full of questions, carrying dreams that felt larger than the space I was in. I know what it means to imagine more for yourself, even when the resources around you feel limited. I didn't have access to a school like the one we will be constructing here now. However, I had mentors, teachers, and a community that believed in me. And I held on to the idea that if I worked hard enough, I could one day give back to the place that has given me so much. Today, we break ground on a school that is built not for ambition, a space where possibility lies in every block and every corridor. To the students who will one day walk these halls on completion of the construction in 2026, this is your starting point, but it doesn't have to be your limit. I want you to know that your dreams are valid and your goals are within reach. My wish is that each of you, regardless of your background or starting point, will leave this school with both knowledge and confidence, as I did some 45 years ago. I wish that you walk into the world knowing that you belong there and that one day you too will stand with success and influence because you were given the opportunity to pursue your dream. Thank you very much. Thank you to the World Bank. And on behalf of the people of Linden, thank you to the government of Guyana. We'll have a brand new school here from 2026.